All right, good morning, book fair participants of the New Orleans Poetry Fest Book Fair. Thank you for tabling your tables and bringing all your press and your publications and everything out here. We wanted to give you a little taste of things that have been happening in the rooms that you have maybe not been able to go in because you're working your book fair tables. So we're going to bring our small press reading down here. I'm going to bring up some of our small press readers, and then I'm going to also open it up after that. If anybody who's been tabling at a book fair table would like to come up and read something or share something really quickly, we can kind of do that as well, so we can all get to know each other at the book fair as well. I thought that'd be fun. So our first reader is going to open up our Sunday events for us. Very, very brave. I appreciate it. Kris Riley, please come up to the stage and share some work with us.
Seems good.
Great, I can hear you great.
I'm Kris Riley. I'm gonna share 3 poems with y'all today. Magnolia Meditation. I trudged through the swamped banks of the Bayou City and sat down beneath the towering shade of a forgotten Mahatma rice factory to look at the sunrise over my old elementary school and cry. Nobody sat beside me on the crumbling asphalt staircase, no companion, no thought of thoughts of the same soul, just the junkyard to myself and of myself, sunken in steel trash somewhere between withdrawal and relapse, blank and blank-eyed, held in the hushed buzz before the hustle of the hive. The stagnant pothole water mirrored a negative, the honey glow of the sky. The sun rose over the harsh cawing notes of the crows on the power lines. No cigarette, no slow burn, no locomotive lungs, all hurt-hearted and hungover like 2 starched clothes stiff in the sticky summer wind. I whispered to, like a friend, look at that magnolia. There it was, a fading shadow of a tree beyond the street, on the edge of the playground, bigger than any child, roots sinking into quicksand concrete. I lifted myself over the scraps of metal, across Westview Road, through the patch of grass, the sidewalk, the parking lot. I tiptoed over its entangled roots and moseyed up to a low-hanging branch weighed down by an unfolded flower, wilting in the unkind humidity, mesmerized. Memories of Ginsberg, my visions, Houston, and hells of high waters, bubbling sewers, oil trails, stalling engines, stuck clutches, blinking intersections, crosswalk countdowns, bus stop benches, a knot of highways, a squad of buildings scraping the bottom of the polluted clouds. A noun and a noun and another noun passing into the past, and the meek magnolia flower just softly humming to me, good morning.
Beautiful. Good way to start the day.
This one's a little bit longer. Houston, the third eye visions. Flooding the coast with thoughts summoned out of imagined silence by the skyline's synthetic illumination, curbside sitting, forgetting how to help myself feel better. I write until I can right my wrongs and be right by myself, bearing only the words, be someone. I suppose Hustle City, a can't stop, won't stop machine, no blinker, lane switching, wood grain gripping, double cup fisted, don't give a fuck unless a paycheck's missing, caught in the system, womb caught in the womb, caught, trapped in the trap, America, the home of the indifferent. It's easier to just die, yet here I am the hard way, punching myself in the face, trying to make sense of inequity, inequality, innocence, morality, ethics, fear, fate, contemplating living versus dying, more time versus less, time management versus lack of time versus desire for more versus living. Lost in the skyscraper funhouse, both the lover and the operator. In the morning, the sun sets fire to distorted windows reflecting off cracked concrete, cooking the man wrapped in a cardboard box blanket, and church bells ring only serving breakfast. Even though the collection trays full each Sunday, the stomachs remain empty, the souls remain unnourished, all wholly hidden. Preacher concealing a Rolex under his sleeve, time tucked away. Tourists taking over the museums, the zoo, the parks, the walls of graffiti, the forbidden garden. Each district exploited, each landmark marked picturesque. Cropped the litter in Buffalo Bayou teases its bay beneath the factoried clouds. Aquarium Ferris wheels, spinning, spinning, spinning. Never look down, only up. High-rises, luxury condos, memorial mansions, river oaks, suburbia, energy corridor, galleria, oil, oil, oil. Metal, industrial, prison complex, systemic oppression, rigged, money, money, money. The fucking American nightmare. Every hour, rush hour. Mopeds, hoopties, slabs, buzzing, bumping, humping, humming, backfiring, bikes, pedestrians, big bodies, metro bus routes, 288, I-45, 59, I-10, 610, the loop, loop-de-looping, screwing up over underpass campgrounds, serving vagabonds and veterans their compensation, a trash can punch, a culture too big for limits growing in on itself, a potholed life, all praying to get fixed by tax dollars and a vice. You can't make America great again if it was never great to begin with. Grind till you die, young God, an ignorant God, stark deep within the self, an unheard prayer and a hushed chapel of the mass mind. Turn scream, we got our mind on our money on our mind, finger on our trigger, hand on our nine. One, you lost in capitalism and cartography. You are dying in your virtual reality. We are dying. We're scrolling our lives away. We're being dumbed down, lost in ways to normalize this enigma. Headline, it's not a movie, it's a happening. Your favorite dystopian story is real, damn it. Headline, we are dying. I don't know how to make any sense of any of this. Violence. We're weapons used against ourselves. What's a pound sign with the name next to it? Hashtag body count. Headline, this is Revelations. Welcome to hell, where you can rape someone while they're unconscious for free if you have a coupon. Valid only for wealthy whites. Restrictions may apply. Where you can be objectified, patronized, materialized, then told to internalize. Where wide open legs look good with a closed mouth. Where we would rather get in a wreck than let you in our lane. Where kindness is not kin, where love is liability, I am here. Where the 7 deadly sins first spoke, I am here. In multitudes of media manipulation, binaries, cult mentality, militarized police, censorship, propaganda, isms, and phobias. Here in the civil climax, here marching for our lives. Spoiler, Black Lives Matter, Trans Lives Matter. I am here dying, trying to live. I am here trying, dying to live. Not knowing you already count me as dead. I didn't ask for this shit. None of us asked for this shit. In your terms of hell, this is it, America. I am already here in a system designed to keep me stagnant while I am designed to grow. Contentedness is our worst enemy. It's not paranoia if it's real. We are all conspiracy theorists caught in cycles of poverty. Time equals money equals government equals church equals God. Truth or consequences, America? Seriously, when will you be better than before? Headline, it really is some sort of practical joke. Good morning, Truman, and in case I don't see you later, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, too. This is for us, who have written in code while breaking the binary, who have used words for currency, who have demanded more for the poor and especially for the pure of heart. There are too many intersections to pretend we don't intersect. We are all children of history, learning, unlearning, growing. Humans are miracles. Even when we are different, even when we are sad, even when we are impoverished, even when we are dying or dead. We're recalling, remembering, retelling, fiction versus reality. The world is a construct. The meta-narrative is broken. Everything exists in infinite. We never know enough about anything. We are multidimensional. We are more than a monetized existence. If you are paying attention, you should be angry. America, you're being held to the mark. We are being held to the mark. We are you, America. When will you look in our mirrored eyes? When will you see yourself in them? When will we see ourselves in you? And more than our reflection on the outside of your megachurch's stained glass windows. Oh, Space City, who were you built for? Oh, America, hear your children cry. My God, why have you forsaken me? Okay, this one's a little lighter. A St. Anne morning to my crew. We walked 10 miles on Chewbacca's night, and who knows how many of those steps were totaled on the dance floor. At some point, I stopped keeping count and just kept going. Nights with 4 hours of sleep, nights with 2, nights with none. LSD Clown System threw a clock at me and it really told time. All it needed was batteries. There was confetti and bubbles and life-size king cake babies. Tache sang as 2 clowns mimed along, smiling and swaying, and this crybaby clown bawled real big tears as I held tightly to my emotional support balloon animal. Not happy or sad, probably both. The Joy Theater is aptly named. We didn't stop dancing from there to Saturn Bar. We even outdanced the music. A man set up a telescope outside of J&J's and chattered on as we all gawked at the crunchy moon. The bartender looked in disbelief as more clowns than he could count filled the room. A real hat trick, pulling the scarf of himself, surely some sort of practical joke. At 5:30 in the morning, an actual circus clown named Stumps, costumed as a civilian, kicked us out and onto the street. We amassed on the sidewalk with ruffled collars and tiny hats, gesturing at the sun to rise for us. Big Dick's House of Big Boobs was in an abandoned fire station with boarded windows where so many bodies were pressed against each other, all sweat and serotonin. Someone was stuffed with a butt plug that was a candle that was the shape of a cock that was lit by a person who pulled a condom out of their pussy that was concealing a lighter. We sang happy birthday to somebody who got lifted and fucked with a dildo mask. Then someone came on stage to shush us, and we thought it was a bit, but really the cops were outside. The room was filled with a stagnant heat, and an angel fanned me and held my hand while I had an anxiety attack. Sometimes, when we think of best case, worst case, most likely case scenarios, we don't account for the kindness of strangers. The party moved to Poor Boy's open pole, where the Pikachus made it pour pokey cards and cash, and the police couldn't police their bodies. Dad's ball was a wet dream. There was a statue pond and a painter and performers and a sex chamber. In the blue room, they asked me to say 3 things I love about myself and held space for me and fed me grapes off the vine. A mirrored mylar wall was distorted our fluid movements as we motioned around comfy couches and plush blankets. The dance floor ricocheted lights and lovers to and from and to each other again and again. Then we went to the Red Devil Disco at the Skeleton Jail garage where they even had non-alcoholic beers for the sake of sobriety, and friends embraced each other like it had been years when it had barely been days. I saw aerialists, hula hoop spinners, spray painters, fashion shows, dominatrixes at flogging stations, Jesus Christ piss play, all variety of beads, including anal ones. I talked with so many Uber drivers and contemplated how elastic love and time can be. The miracle of Mardi Gras has been my Mardi Gras miracle. To be here and be reminded. I deserve to be here, to have survived this long, even when sometimes I can only see myself as a statistic, to know I am lovable and loved and capable of loving others in return. It's been you clowns, this cast of character, clashing and coordinating, borrowing and returning, losing and finding. It's been queer and chaotic and communal. It's been so many tears, some of heartbreak, some of heartmend. I fell in love with this city, with so many people, and with myself. It wasn't always clean, but it was pure. It wasn't always nice, but it was sweet. It wasn't always pretty, but fuck, was it beautiful. It was beautiful. And today, after so many nights together, we will see each other in the light. After having known each other in the darkness, we will dance and sing and cry as we parade in the sun. Thank you. What a ride.
Wow, that's how I want to wake up and start every day. I want to be just like shattered by a poem and then like stunned by the beauty of a poem every morning. That was beautiful. Thank you, Kris Riley. I got so distracted by the poem. I was thinking about all the complicated condom, anal, lighter things. There were so many visuals in that last poem going through my head. All right, and to bring up our next reader who has braved the trials and tribulations of Mississippi highways to be here with us. Athena Hill, please come up to the stage and share some words with us. I was giving away a little bit of your story. We're so glad you're here now. How's that for you? That's a good place. Thank you for having me.
So today I'm going to do a reading from my book entitled Unlocked Diaries, and it is as it states, my diary. Okay, so this is chapter 2 entitled Toxic Relationships. How long must I experience heartache and pain? I would say that it's just a reality. Yes, every man cheats. And that's the way it is. It seemed that the cheating would never cease. I thought my first love was unfaithful to me because I was in a wheelchair. I began blaming myself for his actions, which led to me becoming depressed and hating that I was in a wheelchair. So this first poem is entitled, You Told Me. You told me that you love me. You told me that you love me, but I don't quite understand. You told me that you want to be with me, to have this great romance. You said that we will be together forever. Forever is you and me. But as time went by, we became nothing more than just a memory. Chapter 3, Encouragement and Inspiration. This poem is entitled Pray the Storm Away. It began with claps of thunder, ringing aloud in my ears, shaking my soul. The stroke of lightning I see in your eyes blazing fiercely. The winds began to blow, hot and humid, bringing showers of rain. The water rises and the wind causes waves to form. They begin to overtake me, tossing me to and fro. I stretch my arms out to grasp you, and my heart is pounding from the fear of losing you. I don't want this storm to be the death of me. I close my eyes and pray for God's unfailing hand to reach in and pull me out and place me in his ark of safety. And when I opened my eyes, the storm had ceased, and the atmosphere was peaceful, and my world is beautiful. Chapter 4, Mature Love. My first love moved to another state during my freshman year of college. We attempted to make it work, but it didn't work. Over the following years, my first love and I would talk here and there until eventually the communication stopped. You wonder if you would ever find another to love, but of course romance in some form or fashion occurs as you continue to experience life. So as I got older, I experienced relationships with other people. Some of those relationships were good and others not so good. But you live and you learn. As you live and you learn, there is growth and maturity. You come into a sense of what is right and what is wrong and what you want out of a relationship. So this next poem is entitled Love. A love on cloud 9, a love eager to be mine, a love that desires me, a love that loves tenderly. Tender to the touch, love caresses me. Love romances me as we grew to a beautiful song, united with love in holy matrimony. Love is my one and only. Love has given to me a beautiful song. Love holds me in loving arms. Love sees the tears I cry. Love wipes every tear from my eye. Love comforts me. Love listens to my most intimate thoughts and is considerate of my every feeling. Love is understanding. Love is my world and I live in love. Love, love, love all around me. Love from my head to my toes. Love, love, love is all I know. Chapter 5, Finding Myself. And this last one is entitled Radiance. Light is coming to the world. Jesus says, I am not of this world, even as he is not of it. God, he is the Father of light, and I am made in his image, a reflection of perfection. He is in me, and I am in him. Though I am in the world, I am not of this world. You see, I am more than what the eye can see, and this world, it cannot contain me. Like the sun shining bright, just like the sun, I too contain light. Power within me and power flowing out of me, like the sun giving energy. Sitting high above the horizon, just like the sun, my gravitational force is so powerful. A force that motivates to levitate. Where mortal bodies don't go, to the place where the knowledge of God resides and transpires supernatural abilities that manifest limitless achievements. You see, I am more than what the eye can see, and this world cannot contain me.
Go, girl.
Well, call response, I heard.
I hate to say it.
Thank you so much, Athena. Is anyone else for the small press reading here? Brandy or anyone else? Well, thank you to our 2 small press readers who read so far. Thank you so much for opening up Sunday morning and entertaining our book fair tablers who have been working their tables all weekend. I just want to open it up. I have to pull this PA upstairs at 11, but we do have a few minutes if anybody at their tables may want to come up and share something. We have a little time. Anyone? I'll just leave, and if anyone wants to, you'll come up.
We recorded, we're not doing March today, we recorded all these so that we don't need to after the holidays. You're not getting your Wi-Fi, so you have to live stream it. Yeah.
Hi folks, I'll read you some poems. Thank you all for being here, this is really cool. This is hands down my favorite thing to do, so it's cool to be in a room full of people who feel the same way. Or similarly, maybe not the same. So I'm going to read you 3 poems. The first one is one of my own. I am Linzi Garcia, by the way. I am the poetry editor and publicist for Meadowlark Press. Our table's right over here. Come say hi. My book is actually not a Meadowlark Press book, but I'm here and I'm going to take the opportunity. I publish with Spartan Press out of Kansas City, and I just had this book come out called While Away, and it's a book of travel poems. So this one is called Drinks with the Rabbi. 1. The rabbi walks into a bar. White suit, gold buttons ready to burst. Matching cap, matching tie, purple slippers. Adorned with a bouquet of baby's breath and fern, a boutonniere to match, he tells the bartender he's looking for the girl with green eyes. The rabbi walks into a bar for me. Me, an old 25. Him, a young 76. We drink beer and talk about the time and space that led us here together. 2. The rabbi used to travel the world, chasing girls, chasing beaches. When the love ran dry, there was always the water, always the sunsets, always the boats way out there, coming and going as they do. 3. The rabbi was a military man, son of a Navy man, climbed the ranks to lieutenant colonel, didn't bat an eyelash when he met the late Herbert Hoover. 4. The rabbi hides a toy fish in his pocket, keeps it handy to toss on the floor, stir up laughter when conversation lulls. 5. The rabbi says he keeps a pocket printer on him too, asks for a piece of paper. He makes robotic noises, beep, beep, boop, boop. He scribbles his Jewish name, his Catholic name, and his cell phone number. Next, I am going to read from Songs for Ghosts by Julie Valen. She is such a badass. She is the co-editor of 6 Foot Swells Press, which is a New Orleans-based press. And this is a great book because it comes with its own Spotify playlist. So that's fun, that's fun. Let's see. Give me a page number.
12.
12. Ghostwriting. Losing you is like having a phantom limb. The creative arm of my body torn away so swiftly that I was still in the middle of saying goodbye before I realized it was no longer my hand that was waving. It's difficult now, finding other ways to move through my days on a path that will never wind back to our Thursday lunches at Pine Street Cafe, working through poems, or after-hours gatherings at the corner bar where our quarters ruled the night. Now it is my own hand that moves the pen across the page, with only the memory of your arm swatting at gnats to let inspiration swirl freely around me. I will do anything, hurl liquor bottles against the wall, throw punches at drunk guys in alleys, anything to create my own scenes to write about. But the truth is, maybe I'll just have to settle for reading your poems, written about other bars and alleys in a more colorful place far from this small town, and let how much that haunts me serve as the best inspiration I'm going to get. Thank you. And the last poem I'm going to read to you is from Cupping Our Palms by Jonathan Greenhouse. Meadowlark Press has an annual poetry contest. So it is a full-length manuscript. Hi. And Allison Hicks is here. She's one of our Birdie Poetry Prize winners. Allison, maybe you want to read a poem afterward. The Birdie Poetry Prize is $1,000 cash, plus publication, plus 50 copies of the book for the author. So we have some info cards. I would encourage you all to submit if you have manuscripts that are ready. So this is last year's winning book, Cupping Our Palms. And I'm going to read to you the title poem. Cupping Our Palms. Love is extending your cupped palms to cradle the blend of chewed up pizza and clementine in your 2.5-year-old's sudden vomit, its warm acidity stinging your fingers, dripping down to the carpet below. Likely, he won't remember this later in life, when you're proudly beaming at his wedding, or when he carefully guides you back to your hospital bed, your gown flapping open in the back. But some subconscious piece of him will vaguely recall, will extend his own cupped palms when the time comes to return the favor. Thanks for listening. May I invite a Meadowlark author up next? Okay, all right. Allison, if you'd like to read. Thanks. And Olive Sullivan has got here too. She's also with Meadowlark Press, so we'd love to meet you all.
It's kind of unexpected. Thank you. Okay. Let's see. Put it way down. All right, this is The Moon is a Paper Lantern, arm of the boy who carries it tired. I used to find my dog's hair in birds' nests, a soft layer woven inside the twigs. I released hair from my hairbrush out my bedroom window.
Move closer to the mic.
All right, is that better?
Yes.
Okay. Usually I get feedback, so I'm afraid to go too close, but this is good. All right. You want me to start over or go? Okay, great. The moon is a paper lantern, arm of the boy who carries it tired. I used to find my dog's hair in birds' nests, soft layer woven inside the twigs. I release hair from my hairbrush out my bedroom window. My son practices the swan transposed for viola. shift to third position, then to fifth. You want to hear just a bit of the slide. Near the end of the note, his teacher says, don't touch the neck, the hand moves as a unit. String instruments, where pitch is found by memory, offer the most choices for musicality, are the most expressive, most like the voice. I print out the music, finger the notes on my forearm. You have to have a plan, Mr. Barnett says. I haven't touched a cello in months. The house is large, the ceiling's high. I run from room to room, laughing at the sound of my shoes. No one is dancing, only me, twirling on the wooden floor.
I actually have two books from Meadowlark, so I'm going to read a little bit from both, if that's okay. The one from my current book is going to be a pretty short one. This book is called Skiving Down the Bones, and the poem is called Full Moon at Pin-Oak. The full moon floats on the surface of Pin-Oak Lake, so radiant and luminous, her sister in the sky seems but a pale reflection. We lay on the bank, counting the constellations, and it's only the touch of your hand on mine that anchors me from flying into the black winter sky. Sorry about my voice, I think I'm allergic to New Orleans. But this one is called Smiley's Bar. I'm going to read you a couple of bar poems because New Orleans. Smiley's Bar. The coyote made it into the poem, but not the hummingbird. The yellow roses, but not the fabulous terracotta chicken. Not the woman who spoke of herself only in third person, or the girl flying a kite on the beach. Smiley's made it into the poem, but only because of the band and the upright bass. The bass player cradling her neck against his jaw, strong hands controlling each chord, his arm curved around her waist like that of the couple on the tiny dance floor. His right hand pulling the strings, her whole being throbbing from the depths of her sylvan soul. The beat of an old-time string band against the ethereal melody of the new age, setting up a tension that she can barely endure, throbbing, throbbing until the A string snaps and curls up and around his hand, embracing him. She says, oh, oh, and has to be carried to the back room to lie down. Her electric understudy taking her place on stage and changing the whole tenor of the evening. The bass player holding it stiffly, like a boy at his first junior high school dance, while in the back, the upright bass throbs, oh, she moans, oh, and the eucalyptus trees say, hush, hush. The sea says, shh. The full moon says, oh, yes, oh. That is a bar in Bolinas, California. The next one is a bar in Austin called the Elephant Room, and the poem is called Elephant Jam, Halloween at the Elephant Room. Streams of neon light flow psychedelic from the drumsticks. The saxophone bleeds indigo into the Texas night. Out on the purple sage, the coyotes howl, and we too sing to that blue, blue. I look away, and the beat goes, the beat goes, the beat goes on. This is how I work. This is the big magic. The saxophone bleeds neon and the moon sings. The moon calls to the coyote. I am happy, 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 happy. I live for jazz. We are telling soul stories. We are so in love with words, with sound, with jazz. We are so in love with the saxophone and the red suede high-heeled shoes and the bass. Oh, I am drunk on jazz, drunk on the blues, so drunk on love. I hope, but oh, 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 this is the big magic. Thank you.
So I'd like to thank Meadowlark Press for the brilliant idea. My name is James Sherry, and I'm the editor of Roof Books in New York. And I'm going to read to you from 2 books that we published recently. The first is from Kit Robinson. We published several books of Kit's, and he hails from the Bay Area. So the first one I'm going to read is called Falls Bay. Words in place of fingers. Sky in place of harp, sound in place of memory, whales in place of harmonicas, liberals in place of precipices, door in place of tree, sensuality in place of remuneration, number in place of color, eyes in place of seahawks, September in place of time, inside the cave, outside the bar, wherever it suits you, unless there is fire, unless the last minute without being aware because of the noise under the circumstances, on top of the fridge by the side of the road, ceremonial embouchure, leaseway tires, probabilistic septuagenarians, semi-automatic doubt, consensual sacrifice, inter-island plasticity, roadside realism, drowsy blandishment. Art is the last refuge of polygamists. Rail transport is the badminton of hungry ghosts. Sensitivity is the germ warfare of electric guitars. Language is the roulette of pacifism. Cinema is the cliff face of adolescence. Melancholy is the nasturtium of time. Outer space is the typewriter of misapprehension. Ostentation is the oatmeal of fellowship. Every day is the climate change of introspection. Horticulture is the guardian angel of sex. Good job. You want to hear another one of Kit's? Is that, yeah, different kind of poem. Let me see. Garcia Road Screed. America has intermarried. Wake up. Do not fall prey. The concept of the blank page is history. Each moment is embedded in story. What is yours? They interweave with the best of us. Doors open. Then song enters the picture, an ear in the mind of a worm, torn up about outer space. I know about a life, a low ratio of signal to noise. In the sound of Archie Shepp, and the song is, well, you needn't, held over for performance in different heads, falling through time. You can make your own pages. Coffee is the work of many backs, hauling beans across continents. Air is thick. Dust of cupolas covers the earth. We drive right down to the ocean, glide along the beach, body surf on syllabic waves. Air circulates above the surface of the planet. Succulents persist. Kid Robinson. Now I'm going to read a couple of poems from Elizabeth Robinson. They are not related, but I thought you would like to hear another Robinson poem by a totally different person. This book is an encyclopedic kind of book, so it's got titles like On Boredom, On Cancer, On Cups, On Contentment. Anybody got a subject? I got a lot of subjects here. On fame, on extinction, on getaways. On getaways. On getaways. That's what we all hope for. On Getaways by Elizabeth Robinson. This is the destination. Ardent body of the beloved approaching is our getaway. Haven is not adequate. Herein is in here. This is the way out. In the tale of the glamorous criminal, there is sex and there is the getaway car. Technically, this is not correct, but herein my correction. Slick surface. The getaway is surface. It is brightly lacquered color, but it is grievously distressed. No getaway attaches to the pictorial, to the humiliation of the literal. Getaway. Surface unattached to its root. Getaway kiss. Do you recollect our kiss in the dark, a hand on the breast, a city street, a tongue in the throat, in the speaker's throat, in the column of sound, in a column of slick surface sounding off, engine revving in the blank of the speaker's throat, guillotine slicing through the rush of the kiss in its vacuum. Oh, Bonnie, oh, Clyde, do not look upon us as poseurs. Our love was more sincere than yours. Though we stole nothing we could name, our thefts were as intentional as yours. Bright lacquer, I changed my pronoun from singular to plural so that I may have a lover, so that my guilt may be true, so that solitude of my desire can escape, can attach from surface to desire for a surface. What then is the culprit? Herein my confession, the blather of celebrated guilt. I want the beloved's body as I want nothing else, as proof. I remember what cannot be remembered otherwise, and hence my moral turpitude. The bars of the cell make a pattern that lacks true depth. So one more short one. This was on the impossible, which is what we're all doing here. Our encounters with daily life made it impossible to know what the impossible was. Say a feature of the improbable, which is breathing itself, was no longer necessary. A beehive grew on the lung. The impossible was a dire irritant. It revised itself incessantly. It seduced the possible. Meanwhile, there was honey coating every inhalation, a sound of the industrious in place of the lung, the habituation that exiled breath from possibility. Elizabeth Robinson from Ruth Book. Thank you all.
Good morning, everybody. How are you? Good morning. And hi, I'm Steve Bellin-Oka. I'm a poet and also the publisher of Untitled Press, which is a brand new press based in Tulsa focused on queer BIPOC and queer disabled writers poetry press. So I'm going to read two of my own poems from a forthcoming book, and then I'm going to read two poems from our first publication, which is this chapbook called Vagaries by Travis Chewing Lab. So I have a book coming out with Carnegie Mellon University Press next year, and it's called Shadow Generator. I hope you keep it in the back of your mind. I would love to have you read it. This first is called Packing the Kitchen Utensils for a Move. How many years since we used the potato masher, the apple peeler, its stainless steel blade and crank tucked in the back of the bottom kitchen drawer among the bald plot of discarded rubber bands. And the egg slicer never touched, its grill and clean wires taut as the silver foil outlines on the faces of the wedding invitations we mailed out years ago. We bought these utensils for ourselves. Hardly anyone came to a gay wedding back then. Which of you is the bride? Someone scrawled beneath the box check, decline. At least they answered. Husband, I lift these nesting spoons from the cutlery drawer, wrap them in a grocery circular. Though their two silver oval faces are tarnished with wear, on the handles you can still make out the brand name and the words, lifetime guarantee. Sorry, I don't have a copy of this other than on my tablet here, and I have now lost the second poem that I was going to read.
Take your time.
A cathedral is burning in Paris. Forgive us our trespasses, numerous as broken umbrellas on April asphalt. Forgive the cherry blossoms, their infinite silk confetti clogging the gutters. Forgive our trust in permanence. The thing about a burning cathedral in Paris is I never thought stone could burn. When the spire collapses in slow motion, the ziggurats of Babylon feel again their old wounds, muscle memory of torn mortar and broken bones. We begin in dust, and after the smolder, return to dust, blanketed by dandelions and broken bones. Even the sun will consume itself in fire. Some pray for it and think it cannot come soon enough. Forgive us our weariness. The problem is not feeling nothing, it's feeling everything. Over a door frame, you wipe away a spider's leaks of fine wrought lace. Elsewhere in the world, another exquisite stone building collapses. In the ruins, against reason, the spider sets her legs and starts to weep. So I was just saying, this is our first publication, just came out last month. I'm sold out of the copies that I brought with me. But I have flyers that you can get Travis's book online. It's called Vagaries, and the poet is Travis Chi-Wing Lau. And this poem is called In the Land of Pain. And it's after Alphonse Daudet. Keep walking, I will myself. Fear of an attack, shooting pains that nail me to a spot no, cannot stop, cannot break. Strange the fear that pain inspires. It is bearable, and yet I cannot bear it. This breastplate preventing even gasps of life. Yet relief is a fistful, the rattle of capsules all the way down. At least until the return, where I vomit up little more than a general theory that talks too much, but accounts for nothing. Resistance is even less than futility, so pain, you must be everything for me. Let me find in you all those foreign lands. You will not permit me to visit. Be then my philosophy, my science, because the only real way to know you is to submerge.